I'll go with the first one then, Scotty.
Let's see, who was that? I didn't see. Oh, Chris. All right, Chris.
Can you just, I've watched the video, but I've forgotten because I've watched loads since. Can you just explain the team cycle bonuses and at what stage you qualify for them, etc.? Yeah,
well, I'll explain that real quickly on how that is. And then I'll have somebody on here find the video I made, and you can watch it with, like I drew circles like on my whiteboard and stuff. But the basic gist of it is, you know, and I'll understand, I'll explain a little bit bigger the compensation than just the team bonus cycle, so you can understand. So when you guys sign a customer up, you get a 25% commission. Okay, 25% commission. When that customer becomes a coach, you no longer get a commission from them, a 25% commission. You now get a team bonus cycle. So that's my way to transition into team bonus cycle. Because a lot of times a new coach in the beginning will be like let's say I had all of you guys on Shakeology Home Direct doing a program. I would get a $30 US dollar commission every month that came through. But Chris, the day that you sign as a coach, I would no longer get a monthly 25% or $30 commission. I now get your team volume into my bonus cycles. I no longer get the retail commission because you're now, as a coach, getting 25% discount. So they can't pay me 25% or 25% commission and you a 25% discount. So you get a 25% discount as a coach, and you are now in my team volume. So how that works is, as a coach, let's say I'm this circle right here, and my two arms go down, it's like the left side and the right side. So I either place you on the left or the right, and I have what's called a strong and a weak leg. And what determines this, like I'm a very strong recruiter and builder, so whatever leg I put you on the sign-up date, that leg is going to be a strong leg for you. So Chris, if you go on my left leg, that's going to be your strong leg, because let's say I place Hannah next on that leg. Hannah is now on let's say I place you on my left leg, and then I place Hannah on my left leg like 30 minutes after you or a day after you. She goes down on the left leg below you on your left leg. So that's going to be your strong leg, because you're going to have coaches placed from your upline, from me. When Hannah signs her first left leg coach, that's going down your left leg as well. So that's how you determine what your strong leg is. Now, on the other hand, let's say I sign Andres up on my right leg, and then I sign Ann up on my right leg as well, and then I sign up Sammy on my right leg. That right leg is going to be all of their strong leg, because there's help from the upline going down that leg. Some coaches in the network are unfortunate where they have somebody sign them up and then they never build anymore or whatever, and then their strong and weak leg will not help from the upline, which kind of sucks in a way, or kind of unfortunate in a way. But it happens, and you can still build a business if you end up like that. When I sponsor you, it's not going to happen, because both my legs are going to be strong. I'm a strong recruiter and a strong team builder. But just an example, my coach Lindsay was 2-time #1 coach and 5-time top 10. She was signed up by somebody that never signed another coach other than her.
Oh, wow.
And so she built her entire team. We're 80,000 altogether, with no help from upline. She's never had a coach placed from above. So just know that, like, that's a great example to me. I'm fortunate that she's my upline coach. Like, for example, our team, she sponsored the coach that sponsored Melanie Mitro, and she's top coach 3 times in a row. So Melanie's on my strong leg. But like, even if that was the case, like I wouldn't make an income unless I built the weak leg. And that's where we're going into team bonus, how that works. So that's my strong leg. I'm on Lindsay's right leg, and then Melanie Mitro's down there, and a lot of other top leaders that you'll get to see and meet throughout your journey. But how it works so that you have a strong leg and your weak leg, and that can depend. It can flop. So I want you guys to understand, your strong leg is basically whichever leg has more volume than the other leg. That's a strong leg versus weak leg. Most likely with you guys, like I said, with me being it's important that you know this. So when you're recruiting coaches, that they know it can swap. But yours will most likely always be the strong leg. Whichever leg I place you on, like Chris, if you go on my left, your left will probably always be your strong leg. Okay. But how it works, bonus cycles, is, now that you understand you have a left and a right, is every time that there's 100 volume of cells on one leg and I won't even call it strong and weak. Every time there's 100 on one leg and 200 on the other, just think of it as like drawing a line through it and giving yourself one bonus cycle.
Right.
X out the 200 and the 100, and now you have a bonus cycle of X amount of dollars. And so right now for Emerald, it's a 14 US dollar. Ruby, it's a 16 US dollar, and Diamond is 18 US dollar. So that's how the bonus cycle works. So to give you an example, Chris, you start building your team, you sponsor your first maybe couple coaches, one on each side. You're a brand new Emerald coach, and at the end of the week, and the week ends on Wednesday night for us as Beachbody coaches, and Thursday morning is when it resets to zero. Everything resets to zero on Thursday morning. So let's say on Wednesday night, the week's ending, and your team has let's say 130 volume points on one leg and 300 on the other leg. Brand new team. So you'd get one bonus cycle because you'd use 100 from this side, and then you'd use 200 from this side.
Right.
And then you'd be left over. As long as you don't go inactive, it stays in your account per se. So you'd be left with 30 volume points and 100 volume points. Not enough to get another bonus cycle, but you have that for starting the next week.
So you could get multiple bonus cycles if you say got 200 on one side and 400 on the other side. Yep. It doubles up effectively.
Yep. If you have 200 on one side, 400 on the next, you get 2 bonus cycles. You get 14. You get 2 bonus cycles. At Emerald would be $14 times 2 bonus cycles. You'd make $28 for your team that week.
Okay.
Same would go when you have 1,000 volume points on one side and let's say 3,000 on the other side. You're going to have 10 bonus cycles.
Okay.
So you'd have 10 times 14. You'd have $140 for your team that week.
Cool.
Okay. And 14 for Emerald, 16 for Ruby, 18 for Diamond. And there's no level. Like, I'll just give you guys a small example. Let's say, like, I'm each of your guys' personally sponsored coach. Like, I'm going to personally sponsor you guys. But let's say, like, I sponsored Chris sponsored Froso sponsored Andresa sponsored Hannah sponsored Suki, all the way down this whole list to Tom. That would be 18 levels deep is what it would be called. I would still, for my bonus cycle, get paid on the volume of Tom 18 levels deep. So there's no limit to how deep your team grows to what you get paid on team bonus cycles. The only way that there is a cap, we'll say it, in the bonus structure is as an Emerald coach, you're capped at $250 a week.
Right.
As a Ruby, at $1,000 a week. At a Diamond, $2,000 a week. And then every star diamond rank up, 1-star caps at $3,000 a week, 2-star caps at $4,000 a week, up to 10-star, which caps at $12,000 a week. And that's the basics of team bonus cycle and building a team. I see people are smiling. So, for example, like, let's say, like, my team volume right now, 7 years later, is like 300,000 on one leg a week and 700,000 on the other week, like 1 million volume of sales a week. If I was an Emerald coach, I would only be paid $250. I'd be capped because I never grew my leadership in my team. I'm not doing anything to build a business. So I want you to understand that part. If I was just like a diamond coach and never produced another diamond, I'd be capped at $2,000 a week. When, for example, I could be paid $12,000 a week because of the team volume. So it's important that you grow your, and I've capped business centers from time to time because people will drop rank and get it back. Like, you may go Emerald, one of your coaches goes inactive, and you go back to coach, and then you get another active coach, or they reactivate and you're back to Emerald. So people bounce in and out of ranks. So it's important that you know that in the beginnings. Say you get Emerald and then one of them cancels, do you understand that happens?
Yeah.
So there's times, like, I'm a 14-star diamond. There's sometimes in my first business center, there's times it's 14, there's times it's 8, there's times it's 12. There's weeks it bounces in between. So some weeks I'll be a capped 12,000 a week. Sometimes I'll be a capped 11,000 a week. So depending on where my diamonds are, on how solid their personal diamond is, because the volume's always there. Now that I've built it over 7 years, it's always there and continuing to compound. It's creating those leaders and keeping the top rank that I can, right, in their leadership. So does that help you guys understand? Anybody have any questions about that? I know it's a little overwhelming in the beginning, and that's okay, but just as long as we're starting to get the general gist. So just remember, you guys, where you're at is Emerald first and Diamond. So just knowing that as an Emerald, you make $14 a bonus. Diamond, you make $18 a bonus. And then just think of it simple. Like, if I have 100 on this side and 200 on this side, I make one bonus. So either 14 or 18. Okay. I'm going to check.
Scotty,
Yes.
okay. So you say that we have to stay active. And
Yes.
I think in the last session you said it was 50 PV, personal value. Is that weekly or monthly?
It's monthly.
Okay.
Every month, 50 PV. And the majority of coaches are active with Shakeology, which is 90 PV. But for example, like I have one account that I have with one of my parents because they have, like, for example, I'm going to call them out. They weren't drinking their Shakeology every day at one point, so they had a couple extra bags. I didn't want to get an extra bag, but I wanted them to remain active. And I don't want to confuse you guys, but they've sponsored a couple coaches themselves. They don't actively build the business, but they're Emerald coaches. They're active Emerald coaches. They drink Shakeology. They don't really do the workouts, but they drink Shakeology. But I've placed coaches in their weak leg over the past 6 years. So both of my parents make a capped out $250 a week as Emerald coaches. So when they had too much Shakeology, for example, I didn't want them to order another bag. I had them order something for me that I needed, which were some of the Beachbody performance lines. So I just had them order that for me. Does that make sense? So It doesn't have to be Shakeology. It can be like the supplements they were ordering were the pre-workout, the Energize, and the Recover workout. That together equaled more than 50 personal volume. So to be active, it just has to be personal volume of any product. It doesn't have to be Shakeology. But Shakeology is the most common because everybody's using it and using it monthly. But there are instances, like I've had a couple people that have an allergic reaction, right, to one ingredient in Shakeology. So they use something else like their Shakeology Boost. There's like the pre-workout, the post-workout. There's all kinds of things. But it's just 50 volume points to stay active.
So Scotty, is there what's the benefit of, say, signing up friends or your family as coaches versus signing them up as your customers? Is there, like, obviously, like Nick will be one of my coaches, but say, for example, I got both of my parents on Shakeology, what's the benefit of them signing up as a coach versus them signing up as a customer?
Okay, so the way that I did it, Hannah, and I'll just share from my personal experience and then what I've learned is, like, first, I didn't sign my wife up in the beginning, and I should have. Like, I didn't even know what network marketing was when I signed up as a coach. All I knew is that Beachbody was awesome and that I thought everybody should be a Beachbody coach just because of the way it made me feel. So, like, I signed up 14 coaches in my first 90 days without really even knowing what it meant to be a diamond or completely how my bonus cycles were working. Mine was the one, like, saying, hey, Lindsay, like, I didn't get the $30 commission when my coach got their Shakeology. And she's like, okay, well, they're a coach now. They get the discount. So I learned that way. Like, I just was in action. And so that's a good note to take as well, that you don't have to know everything up front. But once I signed my wife up, I signed her up immediately as a coach because I, at that point, learned that I needed to become a diamond coach. And I signed her up. I had 14 coaches, and then I realized I needed to have 2 emeralds.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm recruiting pretty well. I can make her one of my emeralds myself. So I immediately signed her up, and then my next 2 coaches, I signed up with her, and she became my emerald coach. So that's one reason for with family members. You have to be careful though. You got to make sure that they are drinking. That person is drinking Shakeology. That they're aware that they're signed up as a coach. You'll have compliance issues. For example, let's say. Hannah, you're signed up under Gabby, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever called Gabby, she would need to be able to say, like, I can help you, or let's get Scott on the phone together and we'll help you with your question. So make sure you never sign up a family member as a coach and they don't know they're a coach. So that's first and foremost. That's a no-no. But I got to teach you these things up front, right? We don't want any trouble. But I signed up my parents as customers first with Shakeology. And it was actually, funny story, so you guys can learn, like, it was during a contest. Like right now, this month, we're in a contest with Beachbody called the Team Cup, where you pair up with 5 coaches and you get points for how many Success Club points you have. And then there's like t-shirts and backpacks and stuff they give away. For like, you hit 30 points together, you get a backpack. You hit 40 points together, you all get a t-shirt. Like we're doing that right now. And so I was doing that in my first year with my coach, Lindsay, and I had like 30 something Success Club points, the highest I ever had, because I barely hit 10 my first month, barely 10 my second month. I got in this challenge. They were hitting like 30 and 40 points. So it made me raise my bar. And it was like my brother-in-law, 2 of my brother-in-laws got on Shakeology. My in-laws, my mother-in-law and father-in-law got on Shakeology separate. my mom and dad got on Shakeology, and both of my sisters. And they were all customers. And to be honest with them, I told them, hey, you guys have seen like this transform my life. I'm never not drinking Shakeology. And if you're ever going to drink this, like now's the month. Like help me out as your brother or your son. Just try it. 30 days, I'm in this contest. And that's how they all got started. And then it was probably, and they used it. They loved Shakeology. It was probably, for me, like 90 days later that I turned helped my mom and dad change from customers into coaches, because they were like, I'm drinking this forever. Right? So I said, you might as well get the discount. We didn't even talk about building them a business or anything. We just transitioned them into being a coach just to get the discount, because they used it 3 months already and they were going to continue using it. So when you're signing up your parents, I would kind of take that approach, but you don't necessarily need to wait till like 3 months. Like make sure at least a month, maybe, that they like it, or share some samples of yours first and make sure it's something that they'll drink. And then if they're going to drink it and drink it long-term, they should be a coach, absolutely, for long-term. Because like I shared, like my parents are signed up as coaches under me, and they've shared their Shakeology over the past couple of years and signed a couple coaches themselves. And guys, I recruited them for them. Like they talked to them and they're like, hey, my dad would be like, hey, my friend at work was asking about Shakeology. And I just say, hey, Dad, let's call them together, or let's meet up with them together. And I helped recruit them, let's say. But they became emeralds there on their own in that sense. But because I signed them up as coaches and I'm building this business, you guys understand, and I don't want to confuse you with this, but I want you to understand a little bit what you can do in the future. There's a left leg and the right leg. But let's say like over here I sign up my dad. Like that outside leg will be his strong leg. This inside will be his weak that he has to build. I can personally sponsor a coach anywhere in my organization. So like this one's building massively, like 500,000 of volume a week. I could place coaches in here and start to build his weak leg for him. And so that's what I've done with both of my parents. So that's how they're capped out. They make, just for drinking their Shakeology and being signed up as coaches and bringing on a couple coaches on their own and me helping them build their volume, they make $1,000 a month as coaches, and they don't run the business at all. They don't try to recruit. They don't, run challenge groups and all that stuff. So having your parents signed up, I don't want you to worry about building volume for them and all that up front, because you need to do that for yourself first and make sure that you're good at that, or get to the point that you're good at that. But it's important to know that, I guess the sooner they're signed up, if they're going to use it, the better, because that volume can start to build on their strong leg earlier.
Okay.
So when you say that you've personally sponsored or kind of placed coaches for them,
yes,
rather than you being the personal sponsor, you've actually got them to sponsor. Is that how it works?
No, I'm there personally sponsored, because I can place somebody. You want to place far outside left, far outside right. Mm-hmm. But I personally, let's say Nick, let's say you're my brother, and let's say you're trying to build a business, like your family, and you're struggling financially, and let's just say that we're just imagining something here. And like, I have the belief in you. I've seen what you've done, the things you've done. You're like, I know you have what it takes, but you're struggling to build that volume. Your family's struggling, and you've built this. You've sponsored a couple coaches. You become an emerald, but it's not building as fast as you would like, to build volume. And I'm your brother, and let's say I'm recruiting 10 coaches a month, and let's say you're recruiting one coach a month. Like I could place a couple, I sponsor them, but I could place them in your weak leg and help you build that volume. So you could, that smaller side number, the 100 versus 200, can start to grow faster. And I can help you as my brother do that. You don't want to do that for all your coaches, because you never know when one coach will, like, this isn't going to happen. But let's say Nick, let's say I signed you up, like as my personal sponsor, I'm not going to place weak coaches in your leg, because I don't know if in 6 months or a year you're going to cancel. And I left those personally sponsored coaches of mine in that weak leg, and they'll never have a team building from upline from me again, because I don't know if you're going to be there or not. Does that make sense? So you don't want to do that for your coaches, only for a family member that you will continue building yourself or helping to build. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't want you to think too much about parents and brothers and sisters, because you got to build your own business. Just think now yourself and your spouse, or yourself and maybe a parent if you don't have a spouse. because you can help build both those businesses. So like in your guys' case, or like Raven and Gav, I know Raven, I'm going to sign up Raven and Raven's going to sign up Gav, right? Like let's say Raven recruits more people than Gavin does, or Gav does. Like she's like, I will. I saw that nod. Let's just say she gets the diamond. It's a solid diamond. The team's starting to grow. You know, she can help her spouse recruit coaches in the case where you're saying where Gav actually sponsors them, because they can work together as a team, right? But at any point she can place coaches in his weak leg, and should, so that volume continues to grow. And what I'll do with you guys individually as you start to build is we'll just talk one-on-one. Like I'll have a one-on-one Zoom chat with, let's say, Raven and Gav, and you're like, okay, I have a diamond. Now I have 4 coaches on this side and this side. Where should I place this coach, or what should I do? And then that's where I could teach you, like, Raven, if I were you, like Gavin's on your right, let's say, instead of placing far outside on the right, you should place, even though you're signing them, you should place them on Gavin's left leg. That's what I would do. So like we'll have one-on-one. That's kind of my role. Like you guys have begun to see all the answers to how to build this business are on YouTube and in the coach training. That's all there. But that strategy stuff is the one thing that that's going to be one of my main roles. That and helping you connect with people, like where the disconnect is and connecting with people. That'll be the place where I'll be able to really help you guys, because we've done I understand the compensation really well. And I did the math this morning, and Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. Each coach's income is dependent on their own diligence, effort, and skill. But I remember the first time Chris kind of found out what Beachbody's done for my family. So I think it's important that you guys kind of understand and know that. But and remember, people first. We talked about this last week. But it is just short of $5 million US dollars that we've made with Beachbody over the past 7 years. So I understand the placing, like how to place and how to build volume and a business out of it. Aside from the running challenge groups and that, I understand that structure really well. So when you're having questions about that, or when you're signing your coaches, like that's where I want you to say, ask me like where to place people, because we have that income because we have 4 business centers, and I know how to place this coach under Gabby's weak leg, this one under my parents' weak leg, this one under my 2nd business center weak leg, under my 3rd business center weak leg, which can all seem overwhelming right now, but I'll help you with that as your business progresses, as you go from emerald to diamond, going from diamond to 1 star. So I'll help you with that as it goes. And that will be individual depending on which leg you're on, right? And how heavily you recruit, or, I have one of my $1 million earners. I have 2 personally sponsored $1 million earners right now. One of them recruited heavily, like 10 coaches a month from the beginning, and built her 6-figure income in 14 months, her 7-figure income in 3 years. And my other one didn't start hitting Success Club consistently until 18 months in her journey. And then at her 6-year mark, hit the $1 million club. So it doesn't matter how fast you do it, or if you recruit 10 coaches versus recruit 2, it's going to be about the consistency over time and your ability to develop the other leaders. But that's where I'll be able to help strategize as you guys go. So there's your long answer, Nick, to that. Do I sponsor my parents? Christopher saying he's going to have $3 million earners. Oh, he's muted. I don't think he knows. You're muted, Chris.
No, mate. I'm going to be one.
We know it because you got the hard work ethic and the belief to make it happen, brother. Okay. I believe it, man. Who else has got a question? Raven.
Hey, is all of the products going to be available? So Shakeology and all of the supplements, or is it just the Shakeology?
They're starting. I can't remember the exact number. I think there's 4 or 5 Shakeology flavors that are available at first, whereas we have more. There's 4. Yeah, there's 4 Shakeology flavors. So it's going to take time, and it happened in Canada as well, where it's going to take a little bit longer to get all of the products in and approved to come in. So from the beginning, you guys have 4 Shakeology flavors to start with.
Okay.
So
and what also is there going to be business tools and stationery we can get hold of?
As far as business tools, help me understand like what that is.
So like
Business cards, flyers.
yeah, business cards, flyers, samples.
Yeah, so as far as, we'll call that category advertising your business. All of that stuff, for example, if you look at my Facebook page, my YouTube, or my blog, everything I have on there, and I'm just sharing this so you know what you can do right now, none of that has come from the Coach Online Office from Beachbody. It's all come from something I've created or Google search and just took the image. So you guys can get any sort of image on the 21-day fix containers or anything from Google. That's where I get everything for my blogs, for my blog posts, is from there. And then obviously your guys' transformation photos. But inside of, once in a while on my blog posts, you'll see a banner, a click banner. I don't put them very much anymore because like I study marketing, but people don't even see click banners anymore. Just like people skip commercials, they don't look at billboards, they don't look at click banners. So like I have some on my blog back in the day, but I don't put them anymore because people don't even see them. Their mind just skips them. But inside of the Coach Online Office, once you get signed up as a coach, you can access the online office. You will have, let me see if I'm still logged into my coach office. I'm not anymore right now. You will have, let me log in because I think it's good to show you guys this stuff. Give me 1 second.
Just while you're doing that, I've noticed as I increasingly use Instagram that there are those swipe up things. I hear around from people that do Instagram more and better than I do that people do use them. Is that like a thing now? I'm only just learning about Instagram, so forgive the ignorance of the question.
No, I don't think there's ignorance. Does anybody know? I don't use Instagram. I'll unmute Sammy. What is that, Sammy?
Do you mean the circles at the top, Chris? Those like stories and things.
No, the most I've seen them is for like you know how there's a big fight coming up this weekend. Like I follow the blogs. I follow the Instagram feeds of the fighters, and they'll have a swipe up on the screen that takes you to like a training video on YouTube or a website or something like that. It's not an advertising banner. It'll just say swipe up to see this video, and then it'll transfer you to wherever.
Okay. So I know what that, I don't use Instagram, but I know what that is. That is advertisement. It is an advertisement where they're doing paid advertising to direct the customer to click a link. Instead of clicking like a join now or enroll, it's just a swipe. Because one of the options is swipe. So you swipe and it goes to the video that they're paying that they want you to see.
Okay. Fair enough.
There's a good thing on Instagram. I don't know if anyone's signed up to the Coach Wake Up thing on. You can get it on your phone on podcasts, and there's a really good thing. One of the coaches was talking about Instagram on Monday's one, so it might be worth checking into that and trying that out. It was really, really good to listen to about how to use Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, if you don't know what the National Wake Up Call is yet, you should start listening to those now. They are, let me just grab you a link real quick, and then we'll go to this. They're every Monday morning for us, so the Monday afternoon for you guys. And I'm gonna grab my copy and paste that I use every week for the National Wake Up Call. It's the same time every week. And then I just copy and paste and change like the speaker name and whatnot. So there's like a SmartCast Live that you can listen to online. And there's a phone number, but it's for the US, but I'll just copy you the whole thing of what one looks like. Looks like this right here. So if you copy that link and save it right there, you can watch live on every Monday. So that's 9 o'clock my time. So 4 o'clock p.m. your time, you can watch that live. Or like you said with Chris, if you get your podcast, go to the Apple Store or Google Play Store, get podcast app and download the Team Beachbody Coach app. You can also listen to those afterwards. They're saved as a podcast. You can listen to them on there. I'm in my office now, so I'm going to show this to you into my Coach Online office. Give me 1 second, and I'll show you the marketing tools that they give you so you can kind of understand. And you guys, did you guys hear that you guys get the brand new Coach Online Office, the new upgraded one that we've been waiting for like 5 years. You guys are the first ones to get that, by the way. So you guys are going to be the ones making YouTube tutorials on how to use the new Coach Office and showing it to me. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I've actually seen it because I'm on the coach advisory board, so we help them develop it. I've just never used it. Okay, can you guys see my Coach Office right here? So it'll be similar. It's just going to be much cleaner and cool looking. This right here shows like my own personal volume, my team volume. It shows my Success Club points. So it shows that I have my own 90 personal volume. Shows that I have 18 Success Club points this month. And then right here, there's a sales and marketing tab. Remember, it's going to be a little different for you guys. It's going to be better than this, far better. But there's like a news and training. So that there's a training resource center over here. There's business tools, challenge group tools, product toolkits. Like these are challenge group tools are literally like copy paste posts you can use for every program. Like, let me just show you one. Challenge group guides. Just to give you guys an idea of what there is for you once you sign up. Product training guide teaches you everything about each program, and then a challenge group guide for each individual one. Like I run groups where everybody does whatever program they're on. Well, let's say you just want to run a Shift Shop group. You can go to Shift Shop challenge group guide, and it probably changed screens, right? You can't see it. Let me switch screens. That's the bad thing about opening in a new tab. Give me 1 second. So then it will open up like this, and it has a challenge group guide for you, complete guide, day one, like copy and paste posts that you can use for every single program that we have. So when I say like, when I was talking about like I'm your strategist for building your business and helping you with the relationships and the invite stuff, like literally everything you need to run a challenge group, run your business is like you have that inside of your Coach Online Office like that. So I wanted to show you that so you can really know how much you do have if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So let me go back to that screen I was sharing with you. Oh, downloadable materials. Okay. So yeah, so that's what you have inside of the challenge, inside of your Coach Online Office. You know, challenge group guides are success stories where you can, and you can use any of these things on your social media. So you can read all of the success stories, view stories. I'll open another page. But it's literally like every $500 winner they've ever had, like the daily winner, like you could take the picture, copy it, take some quotes from the story that they shared, and then use those stories for your business in the beginning. Because right when you begin as a coach, you really don't have customer success stories, but we're all a part of Team Beachbody. So you can use any, like Carl Deichler, Team Beachbody has given us permission to use anything that they've put on the Team Beachbody blog, like transformation stories and any of that stuff. So there's your answer to the resources in the training. I mentioned the banner ads and stuff. Like they've gone as far as like there's 21-day fix, or there's Beachbody on-demand banners where they give you the HTML code linked to your Coach ID number that you can copy, put into a blog. So if someone clicks on it in your blog, it goes to your Coach ID. So if they purchase a product, it goes through you. So they have all of those tools. But like I said, I don't use the banners anymore because, you know, Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my mentors, teaches that people don't really see that anymore. So I don't use that so much. I use social media in the fact of I interact and engage with my audience, get their attention that way, add value to them that way, have a private conversation. Because people, I mean, some of you guys got me through an ad, like clicking an ad, let's say. But if you look at it, it was still like a very fun, like short 45-second video of Gabby and I, you know, saying, hey, welcome to Team Beachbody. You know, you guys saw the video. But like if I just put some kind of banner of 21-day fix or Beachbody on demand and all the programs for an ad, you guys most likely would have never clicked it, you know, because it doesn't draw attention. It's like just plain, like people already see those programs and stuff. So why would they click that? So when you're thinking about promoting your business, you've got to use yourself, like make yourself stand out. Like Chris's why video has like 2,000 views on it now. Like that will do far better than any copy pasted Beachbody on demand image that's perfect with a transformation photo on it and posted on social media. Like Chris just talking about his mother passing away from health issues and his why he's doing this is going to reach somebody far stronger than that. So remember that too, but there are tools so that, you know, 1 second. Skylar?
Because he asked.
I got to introduce you to my daughter. This is Keena. She's my oldest, my 10-year-old. She has her own YouTube channel and makes an income with advertising on her YouTube. So my little entrepreneur, learning from her parents.
All right, Keena, how's it going?
Oh, she would love to hear you guys.
Hello. My daughter's been watching some of your YouTube stuff. Hey.
That's awesome. Cool.
That's
Okay, 1 second.
cool.
So, I don't need to go get you.
Pick me up here and then bring me back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
She's going to the public swimming pool, and then she has karate afterwards. So she was seeing if my sister could take them instead of me and pick them up. So there we go. Okay. So there's a little bit on advertising. Does that answer your question, or were you going somewhere else with that, Chris? I'll unmute. Yes. There you go.
No,
Okay.
that was it.
Awesome. Okay. Does anybody else? What other questions do you have? Sam.
Dead boring one. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Okay, we'll get you right after Chris.
Hi. I was wondering, I've got Beachbody On Demand, and I wanted to know, does that count towards my personal volume at all? I know that obviously if I have Shakeology, yes, it already counts, but just if anybody ever asked me that question, does it count?
Yeah.
Or how are they going to work that out? Because I've obviously already got that at the moment.
Yeah, so there's a TV, like a personal volume and a team volume amount attached to Beachbody On Demand. So when you sell it, like let's say I sold that to you, I would get the personal volume from that. The only thing about that to understand is I personally almost never sell a quarterly membership. It's almost always the year membership in the challenge pack with Shakeology. So the volume coming through from that, the personal volume from that, is a year later and very small. Because it's only a $99 purchase, it's a very small amount. So it does count, but I want you to understand it's a small number and happens far less often. So for you, your own personal volume of keeping you as an active coach, it wouldn't work in that sense because it wouldn't be a monthly thing. Your personal volume needs to be for your monthly.
Okay.
And just to give you a brief idea on personal volume or on a commission structure, I know yours is going to be very similar but slightly different, is like if I sell, for example, a Beachbody On Demand All Access and Shakeology for $160 US, I get the $50 commission for that, right? And I get the team volume for that. If I sell just Beachbody On Demand alone without Shakeology, it's $99 US, and I get a $40 commission to that. Okay, so I think that's important that you understand those small commission numbers. But for the personal volume, for you staying active, it's going to need to be Shakeology or one of the supplements. Stay active.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. And Chris.
Yeah. Sorry, boring question, but it just pops into my head. Shakeology is 30-day, 1 meal a day supply, is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that right? All right,
Yeah.
cool. Just checking.
And they have the option. I don't know. They'll come rolled out to you guys, but there's the option of a 30-serving bag or a box of 24 individual packets. So I always have people get the bag because you get 6 more servings. And people often, it's good for you guys to know, people often ask me, because I travel a lot, can I take my Shakeology bag with me? And you can take a 30-serving bag in your carry-on bag, in a backpack, wherever you travel. So, because people are always, I'll get the packets because I'm traveling. I just tell them, take your bag. So, there you go. Great question. Look at the little baby.
Thank you.
Tom's got his little one with him. I love babies. As you know, I got 5 of them. So, okay. Any other questions? I know we said we'd only go 45 minutes. If any of you guys need to leave, you can leave. But I'll stay on for another 10 or 12, 15 minutes. But if anybody,
I have a question.
Angela.
Yeah. You've mentioned before about Ruby, the position of Ruby, but you've never really explained it. You've just always gone straight from emerald to diamond.
Yeah.
How does that?
Because Ruby is the rare gem. I call it the rare gem. Because I'll explain what it is, but oftentimes someone will go right from emerald to ruby and skip, or emerald to diamond and skip ruby. And the reason is, and I'll do this because repetition helps you remember something. Emerald means you have one coach on each side. So that's emerald. Diamond means you have 4 coaches on each side, and 1 on each side is an emerald. Okay, that's diamond. Ruby is you have 2 coaches on each side, and you have 1 emerald on each side.
Right.
So it's almost the same as diamond. You just have 4 less personally sponsored coaches, 2 less on one side and 2 less on the other side. And the reason it gets skipped oftentimes is because people can often recruit the 8 coaches before they help develop the 2 emeralds.
Right.
So they'll have the 8 coaches in place before they develop their 2 emeralds. That's why it's oftentimes skipped. Okay, give me 1 second. Tell me. Can Presley come inside? She's trying to do signs through the window of asking questions. Okay, so does that answer your question, Angela?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Anybody else have a question? I'm going to answer this question right here, and you guys can hear it real quick.
Yes.
Are you guys going to the swimming pool?
We're actually not, because we're going to do another day.
Okay, so you're just going here, and then you're going to Taekwondo.
Yeah.
You can go. Make sure you're back and stay
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Be careful crossing.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I got her back.
You got her back. And Kina knows Taekwondo. Okay. Awesome. And if you're wondering, I just allowed her to go ride their bikes to get ice cream. So we can't have ice cream sometimes as Beachbody coaches. Okay. Anybody else have a question? I know you have one. I'm just going to stare at you.
Hi, I have one. Right. In the past, I've managed to get Shakeology. I've bought 3 bags in one time, so I can have a different flavor every day, and that obviously lasts me 3 months. What would be the options of doing this through Beachbody?
Yeah, so you can order as many bags as you want at any time. Like myself and the majority of people have one flavor on Home Direct. When you guys have your option for your 4 different flavors, there's going to be an option for alternating flavors. Where, let's say, I wrote them down. I don't have them on top of my head. Let me get it out so I can tell you. Does anybody know what flavors they were? I wrote them down, but I don't know which page of my notes it's on right now. Okay, but anyway, there's alternating flavors. One option would be to choose Hannah.
It's the flavors. It's chocolate, vegan, vanilla, and strawberry.
Chocolate, vegan and regular, and then vanilla and strawberry. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Suki, there will be an option for you to do alternating flavors. Like literally when we have all the flavors, when someone chooses the challenge pack, when they go to order Beachbody On Demand challenge pack, it's literally like a list of like 30 different options. It's like the barista pack, which is like the chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. There's the vanilla chocolate alternating. There's the vanilla strawberry alternating. There's the vanilla bag. There's the vanilla 24 packets. So there's going to be lots of different options for you to do. One thing you do not want to do is to order 3 bags. Like let's say you order chocolate, regular, strawberry, and vanilla, and then use those 3 bags and don't order anything the next month and the next month, because you would go inactive and you wouldn't get your bonus cycle. So you don't want to do that. So the option would be maybe get like the combination pack of packets if you're really concerned about that in the beginning, even though it's 24 packets versus 30 servings. And then you can have a little bit of options so you don't have taste fatigue, or I guess that's what some people call it. And then you can then order the bag of the one you like the most the next month. And so you have that one on a bag that you use the most, and then you have a couple packets of those other flavors. So that would be one option. Another option is if you have a spouse in the family. Like I can literally drink tropical vegan every single day, like twice a day, and not get sick of it. But Gabby drinks the vegan chocolate. So if I'm ever wanting something chocolatey, I'll drink hers. Right? So I'll just have a taste of hers. So that's an option. And then I just bought one time a bag of cafe latte. I don't drink coffee, but sometimes like I have that craving for something different. And so I just have one bag sitting there that I can just, when I want something different, a different type of treat that I can drink. So that would be probably the best option for you. is do alternating flavors or have your spouse and yourself have a separate bag like that.
How long does it last, Scotty?
It's 30 servings, so it'll last 30 servings.
Sorry, I mean, as in, does it go off?
There's an expiration date on it. I believe it's probably 18 months out. I've never looked at it completely, but I'll be 100%. Like when I was in Hawaii, we blocked the person. I rented someone's house and they blocked the mail, and I'd shipped my stuff there and it didn't come because their mail was blocked. And so I ran out of Shakeology, and I literally reached out to the Beachbody network on social media and found a coach in Maui that had a shake that I could buy from them. And it was 4 years old. It was greenberry that was 4 years old that they had in their pantry. I bought it and I drank the whole bag and I felt incredible. So as long as it's not opened, it'll last longer. This FDA or whatever will make them put a date on it. But I've drinking bags like that. I've had bags in my house that have been 6 months past the date, and I've drinking them and it's been fine. So I didn't die. Okay, any other questions?
Gordy,
Gordy.
When you can alternate the flavors and you can alternate the ones that you order, but if you're on a loop, like if it's on automatic, can you alternate whether you have a 30-day supply or a 24 sachet?
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. I'm going to try to do as much. If I talk too much sometimes, you guys just raise your hand and say, could you show us your screen? Because I think that'll help. I'm going to show you guys how you do it. It should be the same for you guys. It will be the same for you guys over there once you guys are up. But I'll show my screen in 1 second. I just got to get to the page. My internet's a little bit slow. Okay, so I'm going to show my screen. This is what you do. I'll copy the link to you as well right now so you can save it. Guys, I use notes on my MacBook, so the notes I put on my MacBook show up on my iPhone. So I would start doing something like that. Let me find the page real quick. Okay. You guys should see my screen now. Customize Shakeology Home Direct. Beachbody is legit. Everything they have together for you is awesome. And I just said legit, and it's probably not your lingo, but you guys are learning mine. Okay, so I'm going to copy this to you in the chat real quick and then show you how it works. So give me 1 second to put it in the chat.
While you do that, I'll just say, if anyone doesn't have iPhone, there's Google Keep, and that synchronizes all your Google devices for notes.
Okay, Google Keep.
Yeah.
Another thing I use on top of notes as well. Guys, I can't even find where the chat box is right now. Someone put a chat so it pops up on my screen. I'm lost in the screen share. I use Google Drive as well, where that's where I save my templates for clean eating groups and any kind of template, anything that I need to share often with coaches and my customers, I save it in a Google document as well. Okay, so there's the chat box. Okay, saved me. Okay, so here is the form. You can save it. How to change your order. So what you would do is you put in your first name, your email, phone number, and then you can do skip your next order, but realize if you skip your next order, this is for a customer or a coach can use this form. Your customer can use it and you as a coach can use it. And it will give me a warning when I change it, it'll say changing your Shakeology Home Direct order could affect your team bonuses and your pay. So there's a warning that comes up. So this is what I did when I went to Maui. I did change ship date, I did change shipping address, and I changed it to the Maui address I was at. But what you do is you go to change Shakeology flavor like this. Do you currently have alternating flavors or multiple Shakeology orders on direct? I would put yes, alternating flavors or multiple Shakeology orders. I just have one, so I have one. That's so they can identify which order it is you're talking about. And then you pick, I want the bag or the serving, the packets. And then you would go, would you like the change to be one-time change or ongoing? So you just walk through this, and then you can do it like that. And once you submit, it gives you a little warning for coaches. If they're a customer, it won't give that warning. But if you're a coach, it's this could affect your ability to get paid, whatever, your bonus cycle. So that is how you change your Shakeology order, customize, change from one to the next. And it's pretty simple. You just submit the form. You get an email back that says, we received your request, and then you know. And You literally, you submit it for a one-time change, or from this date on out, it changes, or you can change from my ship date's the 14th to I want it on the 15th or on the 1st or whatever. So you can change them like that, so which is pretty cool. And that's new as of like a year ago. We used to have to call in, and it's kind of a pain to make your customer call in. So the form's super simple. Okay. What other burning questions are keeping you up at night where you're just laying in bed and you're like, I got to figure this out?
I've got one about prospecting.
Yes.
Because my streak pipeline is so busy now, I'm on like about 130 of open conversations, though there are about 60 open conversations.
Yeah.
At times. So I'm struggling keeping track of streaks helping, but if they haven't answered my message and I've only got them down as accepted my request, and we're talking in comments and we're talking on timelines, but they haven't answered my message. So if I was to message them, they would see that they haven't answered and wonder why I'm messaging again, if that makes sense. So how can you overcome that?
So sometimes you can overcome it, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've always been an artist per se. Like I always drew, just like you, Gordy. I'm a musician. Like a lot of you guys don't know that because I quit my band last September, but like we have an album. I used to play shows like every week and travel in a rock band. And so like, as I share, I don't even know where I went with that. I was like, started talking about why I'm a rock star. And I went back like in my mind. I totally forgot where I was going with that. I totally went there. Like I missed it for a minute. Okay. So where I was going with that, as you're prospecting with these people and having these conversations, like I would meet people out on the road and on shows, and I would add them as a friend. We'd have a brief conversation, or anywhere where I meet a friend and start the conversation. I would, at the point of like the contact, I would, like I tell them I'm going to send a message, or if you're in a group and you're conversing, commenting on each other's posts and stuff, and I send a message and they don't respond to it. Oh, that's where I was going. I'm an artist. Like I play music. Like this is the part that I find fun. So like one thing about your Beachbody journey is you get to give meaning to everything that's happening. So when someone ignores me, I think of it as a challenge. Like, how can I be creative enough to get them to respond to me? Does that make sense, that thinking?
Yeah.
One person could look at it like they've ignored 3 messages. They must not be interested, or either that or I suck at this, right? That's how this is how we are as humans. So realize that you give meaning to it. So in the beginning, I just said, like, I'm going to make this like fun. Like I'm going to do whatever it takes to try to get this person to engage back with me. And so it just takes being creative in that, Gordon. There's no system in place. So what I'll do is it'll be something, it can get ignoring if you're like, hey, did you watch that video I sent you? And they don't respond. And then next week you do a follow up with Google Streak, or I'm a notebook person. And you don't want to go back and say again, hey, I just want to check in again and see if you watched that video yet. You know, you don't want to say the same thing over, because they're just going to be like, okay, this is annoying. I'm not going to watch the video, or whatever. Or like, didn't you see that I didn't watch the video? So what I do is I try to engage with them in a different level that has nothing to do with that. So it'll be looking at their Facebook posts, seeing what they're up to, and I'll ask a question about that. So let's say they went hiking with their dog, or they went to visit they're on holiday and they're at a beach, and they put like 15 pictures up of the sunset. I'll comment on those pictures. I'll like those pictures. I'll send them a private message and say, hey, where did you take those pictures? Like, those pictures are beautiful. Where did you take those? So I just work on being creative in a way to connect with them. And then sometimes I connect and it still goes back to where I can't reconnect. And a lot of times, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They'll be like, hey, I never watched that video yet. I've been busy on holiday. I haven't checked Facebook. And then they'll come back. Sometimes they don't. So that's one way that I do it, Gordon, is just be creative. Like, we just work on ways to connect with them. Think of it like when you find your partner or your spouse and you're dating for the first time, or you want to date them the first time, think about how creative you are in trying to connect with them.
Okay.
Right? So that's what you do with your prospects. Try to fall in love with them per se, like build that relationship. And a lot of times it's not going to happen by you just sending them videos to watch or inviting them to groups. It's going to be in other ways. So like I can't go, if I'm going to meet Gabby, I met Gabby at a rock concert at a festival. She came up to take a picture of my guitarist and I, and to put it on their blog. And guys, I can't just say like, hey, you want to get married? Like, you're gorgeous, right? Hey, let me tell you everything about me. And you're going to want to marry me, and then we'll get married on this date, right? You have to be creative. You have to ask about them, like get really into what they're interested in, finding out about them. It's the same process. Prospecting, the exact same process. So kind of think of it like that.
Okay.
And then while we're on that topic, when somebody does stop responding to me, because I'll have somebody tell me they need to lose 50 pounds, and I ask them, what is it going to mean to you? How's that going to feel to lose those 50 pounds? And they tell me what it's going to mean to them, why it's important to them. So they're solid on it. And then I talk to them on the phone or a video chat, and they're going to get Beachbody On Demand, and they're going to do Shift 21-day fix with me. They've committed on the phone or through a message or through text. And I send the link, and then it's like crickets. Like all you hear is crickets. They don't answer. Like they don't respond. Like I'll follow up like 3 days later with my follow-ups. I'll follow up 3 times with no answer. And if on the 3rd time I go to follow up and they haven't responded, and it's someone that's committed before, I do what I call a bless and release. So remember this, I call it a bless and release. It's where I just say like, hey, I'll just use Jenny. I see Jenny's the first face that's on here. Jenny, I understand that it's really important that you lose these 50 pounds because X, Y, Z. You shared this with me. And I know that we have the tools to help you do that. I'll be here to support you do that. But something's happening where you're not responding to my message. And I want you to know that I'm okay with that. That's what I say. I'm okay with it. You can feel free to let me know what it is, or you don't have to. But what I want you to know is that I will be here ready to help you when you're ready. And then that's it. I take them off my follow-up list because I don't follow up with them anymore. But I do have an ongoing list of the years and years. So someday in the future, if I'm having a slow month and I have nobody, like I'll go back to a notebook from a year ago and be like, oh, I wonder what Jenny's up to. And I'll go take people that I lost conversation with a long time ago, and I'll just touch base again and start a conversation. Because maybe 2 years later, a year later, things have changed in their life where they are ready. And I'll just touch base again. Not on an invite, but just touch base. I'll look at their Facebook just as if it's a brand new prospect. Check out, see what they've been up to, start a conversation on it again. It's important because one of the biggest things that's going to hold you back from going to Emerald, going to Diamond, hitting Success Club every month is getting these conversations with 60 people, and then you just have conversations with the same 60 people for the next year. And they never do anything. And that's one of the things that sets apart like one of the top coaches like myself over the long term and somebody that just doesn't hit Success Club and doesn't get consistent is because you get stuck on people wanting them to change, but they're just not taking the steps. And so I think that's important to know too. So like one of my like I'll call it standards, or I call it non-negotiables. My non-negotiable goal is to hit Success Club 10 every month. That's 5 challenge packs, whether it's a coach or customer, every single month. I've done it for 76 months in a row. Never missed it. But the reason I can do that is because one of my other non-negotiable goals or things that I do of my 4 vital behaviors in the invite process is start 5 to 10 new conversations every single day. And then it makes it a little bit easier to let those go that aren't ready yet and let them come back when they are ready, because you're continually, as one of my mentors in the beginning taught me, she would always ask me when we had a checkup, she wouldn't ask me like the only question she would ask me was like, Scotty, how are you doing on filling your pipeline? That's what she called it. Which means like, think of it like a funnel. Like the top of the funnel is your first conversation. As they get more educated, they're closer to the end of the funnel, and then they pop out as a brand new customer or a coach at the end of that funnel, right? But she made sure that I was always bringing people into the funnel of where I can teach them, mentor them, inspire them, help them through their problems and whatnot. So make that a goal that you start, because I know there's a couple of you I've had private conversations and I've told you individually, but I think everybody needs to know. It'd be like, well, I've been having these conversations with about 8 people. And like, you'll never hit your Success Club goal and hit Emerald and Diamond if that's all that's happening. It's going to be a lot of people, and continuing to start those new conversations. And it can seem overwhelming because you hear Gordon, you're like, 60 messages. I don't know if I could answer 60 messages. Like, that seems like a lot. The one thing I know is that, like, I have the thought process of I work with the willing. So if someone's not willing to continue the conversation with me, I'll be creative as I can, but then I'll let them go and let them know that I'll be here for them when they're ready. And you guys, as my coaches, will know that if you ever send me a message, it's going to get answered. That's me working with the willing. So instead of chasing the 10,000 people that started ignoring my messages over the past 7 years, I'll respond and work with those that are responding. And the only way to keep that momentum is to keep adding people that are willing to work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I always felt like I was kind of jumbling, but I think that's an important process to understand.
Well, with that in mind, like the bless and release, my final step after follow-ups is I've got it down as complete or completed. And essentially they've either said, not ready, don't want it, and I'll leave them to it for when they're ready. But I'm deleting that list. Should I keep that list?
Yeah, I would keep an ongoing list because, like I was mentioning in the fitness accountability group the other day about my friend that lost 108 pounds in 8 months. I sold him P90X and Shakeology in my first year of coaching. He never opened the bag. He never posted in our accountability group, never opened the discs, and never did anything. And he bought it from me. And he stopped responding to my message. He wouldn't even answer me, like after he bought it. And I ran into him in the grocery store like a year later, and I'm like, Jake, what's going on, man? And he's like, oh, sorry, I never got back with you. It was like a year later. And I was like, dude, I got that. The programs, it might have seemed a little daunting or hard for a beginner program. We got this new one called Les Mill Combat. Like, it's a mixed martial art. I think it'd be fun. Would you be interested in maybe trying that with me? I'll do it with you. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll do that. Let's do that. And I was like, do you have your Shakeology? He still had his bag of Shakeology. I was like, okay, great. You got Shakeology. The program's only $60. Let's get started on it. He's like, okay. I went home, sent him the link. He never answered my message. And it was a year later that I posted some pictures of one of my girls in my challenge group named Whitney Brooks. And she lost like 30 pounds in 21 days with the 21-day fix. And he saw that on Facebook. He's like, I think I found what I need to do, 21-day fix. And I sold him 21-day fix, the containers, and he already had his Shakeology. And 8 months later, he lost 108 pounds. And he's on the infomercial for 21-day fix. So, like, never get rid of your list completely, because some people just aren't ready. Even if they say they're ready, they're not actually ready until a later date. And that brings it to a bigger picture about Team Beachbody coaching. If you're getting a lot of no's or objections in the beginning, you got to think much longer term. Because, like, I think about my journey. Like, there were times in the beginning where I was like, this is so hard. Like, it would have been so easy to quit in the beginning. Like, literally, like, I worked 7 days a week from 8 o'clock at night till midnight on my business after working a 12-hour day. And I used to nap on my lunch break, and I would work that hour. Like, I put in like 5 or 6 hours a day on top of my 12-hour day into my Beachbody business, because I was going to bring my wife home no matter what. So I was exhausted and tired. And like, when people are not responding or they're not committing and not following through, it can get frustrating. But I think back to, like, what if I would have quit like 3 or 4 months or 5 months when that was really hard? Because I could put all those hours in. I made $49 on my second week, and I put in like over 80 hours of work. So it can be like, is this worth it? Like, working this much, like making these sacrifices. But I think back, like, if I would have quit, like, my best friend Jake would have never lost 108 pounds. You guys wouldn't be on this video in the accountability group today. So when you're running your Beachbody business, you got to think much longer term. Like, yes, you're going to have Success Club goals, how many people you reach out to, going diamond on this date, but you got to think much longer term if you want to truly make an impact on people. Does that make sense? There's my little preachy moment of commitment level of coaching. But I think about that, and I can't tell you guys how many times, you know how we run coach sneak peek groups? Some of my top leaders have come from, Sammy, I see you first right now. Let's say Sammy and I are running a coach sneak peek group. She's a brand new coach. She invites 5 of her friends. They get interested, but they tell her no. They're like, nah, not for me, not right now, or they have money objections. 3 months later, Sammy still hasn't signed a coach. She's like, this sucks. I've been working 3 months. It doesn't work. She quits. Well, guess what her prospects do when they're finally ready to lose the weight or they have the money? I sign them up because Sammy's no longer there. So I've seen that time and time. One of my top leaders, Melody Ryan, right now is from one of my coaches that started off super fast and then lost momentum because of family things and quit. And her challenger lost 50 pounds, was a great person, and she's one of my top diamond leaders right now because her coach quit. And I'm like, if you wouldn't have quit, you have like an amazing leader. You'd be a 1-star diamond right now with that coach, with that challenger that turned coach and whatnot. So it's always thinking much longer. So does that help you guys? Okay, Chris.
I guarantee most of the people on my Facebook page, people that I know from different churches around that have known me for years, I guarantee that at least 3/4 of those people are waiting to see whether I'll stick it out.
They're waiting for you to quit.
They're waiting for me. I know that they're waiting for me to quit. But slowly, even over these first couple of months with you guys, they're seeing the interaction and they're seeing the changes. And slowly, people that I've not spoken to for a few years are liking posts, watching videos, and it's because over this just a short amount of time, I've shown a little bit of consistency, and I can only imagine what the compound effects of that's going to be like 6 months, a year down the line. So I think it is important that we don't, even if we're blessed and released, we don't like defriend or unfollow or anything like that, because everyone's watching. And I know that they are with me, so they're probably happening with everyone else, right?
Yep, and that's what I do on a bless and release. They're still on my friends list. I'll still interact with them whenever. It's just basically saying, hey, I'm here for you when you're ready. Like, I can't force you to do this. So it looks like we got Andresa. I'll unmute you. Give me 1 second. There you go.
I'm just having some questions. Like, I don't have many friends on Facebook. I don't add many people. So how can you create a business out from there if you don't have many people on your Facebook account?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll share my personal story first. I had 224 friends on Facebook when I started my Beachbody business. And the only time I posted on Facebook was like if I went on holiday or I had a kid. So that's literally the only time. And yeah. So like I posted 5 times about having kids. No, that's the only time I posted. And I had very few friends. I didn't use Facebook to interact with people. I didn't private message people. I didn't share about my life at all. So to build a business, I had to make a decision that I'm going to share my life and I need to meet people that I can share my story with. So in order to build a business with a small Facebook friends list, you have to make the decision to expand your network, to be able to expand your reach so that you can reach people. And like we have tons of training, and it's continually training on how Facebook works, for example, but you have to make that decision to reach people in that aspect. But I want to give you guys an understand, because you guys the thing I like about you guys in the UK, you guys don't know yet the difference between an elite coach and an emerald coach. All you know is like if someone shows up, if they're confident and show up for their business, right? Is that kind of true to say? Like if I'm going to try to recruit someone in the UK, like nobody knows really, a prospect hasn't looked at it yet, what it means to be an elite coach, like how that works and what it means to be an emerald coach. So Andresa or Jenny or Sammy, you can have the same presence on social media about this business that I can. And you even have the ability to say that your upline coach was the top #1 coach in the company 2 years in a row. Like, even though that's not like my coach was top coach 2 years in a row, like I was #4 in the company with our team in 2013, our top in 2014. So like you have the ability like to say our team is like one of the best in the company and have that presence. And they're not going to know if you're a coach, not even Emerald yet, and a diamond coach on my team. So as you put yourself out on social media, it's all about your confidence in where you're going, like what your purpose is as a coach, where you're going and how many people you're going to help, how your life's going to transform. That's what's going to attract somebody over me saying, hey, I'm a 5-time, I could go on Facebook and say, I'm a 5-time elite coach. You want to join my team? Right? And Chris could go on there and say, hey, I lost my mom at this age. I'm worried I'm going to lose my life. And my health's important to me. I'm going to lose this weight, and I want people to be a part of this journey with me. And I'm going to support you. You're going to support me, and we're going to change lives. And I'm going to hit this goal weight. Like, honestly, if you guys heard that, which one would you follow? Like, I'm just saying. Like, if I just say, hey, I'm a top coach 5 years in a row, I'm going to help you get great results. Right? That story is going to be more powerful. And I don't know, aside from my clips video, the last time one of my videos on Facebook had 2,000 views. And I'm one of there's only 8 coaches that have had an elite team longer than us. And it's only because they've been a coach longer than me. Because they've been coaches for 10 years. I've been a coach for 6 years. So see how that story and that message reached more people than my message reached people, even though I'm far more successful in the business. So realize that it's your presence, your belief in yourself and where you're going that's going to attract people and help you expand your network. So I just made that decision, Andresa, from the beginning. Like I made the goal for myself, I'm going to hit Success Club 10 every month. That means I have to help 5 people get on a challenge pack every month. I can't do that with a friends list of 224 people. So I made the decision, like, I have to expand that. I have to expand that network. So I personally started working on expanding my Facebook. I started a blog and I started a YouTube channel. And I was scared to death of YouTube. So I honestly, I don't want to leave you guys right now, but I have to. But I'm going to show you guys a video because Andresa, I think this is going to help you guys have the courage to start getting out there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type it in. I'm horrible at multitasking. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to show you. I laugh when I see the video. Okay. I'm going to show you guys my first video that I talked about why I'm a Beachbody coach. Okay. And I think it's important because like you guys see me leading this team, confident on video, confident on like live videos every day. I can do a question and answer. I'm never afraid that I can't answer the question. Right. And you're like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can share on Facebook, start expanding my network, but I'm going to show you what it was like in the beginning. And I'm going to tell you, I got to tell you the background. We call it the hostage video. My coaches and I call this the hostage video. And the reason is it looks like I'm sitting there with a white back screen and someone's videotaping me and there's guys with AK-47s off to the side. That's what I look like. And I'm saying it because I was so scared. I was so scared to talk on video because believe it or not, I was shy in the beginning of my journey. Shy in person, quiet in person, because I'm very introverted. And you guys will know that about me. When we go to the UK, I'm going to be super quiet. It's going to surprise you guys. I can have a conversation with you, but you're going to see how quiet and reserved I am. But I'm going to show you the video. Hopefully it will inspire you guys to start sharing more openly on Facebook and to see how much you can grow and change, okay? This is the hostage video right here, okay? 5 years ago. I was a coach for like 8 months. Okay. How about that? Did you see the fear coming through my eyes? Like I was like rocking. So, guys, that's what
It doesn't even look like you, let alone sound like you. It's amazing. What a difference.
It's cool. It's like you could see kind of how Beachbody can transform your life. Aside from financial. So there's a couple of things I want to share about that though. Like, guys, you guys haven't even been a coach yet. I was already a coach for 8 months. I was already a diamond coach. I already hit Success Club 10 for 8 months in a row. And that's still how scared I was to get on a video. Okay. So, but I was very confident in posting on Facebook and sharing that. So understand that there's a lot of growth. If you feel like, I don't know if I could do that or reach people, just know like that's where I came from. Okay. And so you, just like me, you're a human being just like me with all the potential in the world, like that you can grow into if you apply yourself. So that's the first thing I wanted to understand. The second thing I wanted to understand is, guys, I did not work from home yet. My wife was not home from work yet. But did you hear any hesitation in my confidence that this was going to work for me? I had that from the day I signed up. And that's like, you could have all the training in the world, but that belief and that confidence is what's going to attract the people into your life and your business that's going to help you be able to do that. Like me being brave enough to put that video out helped attract people that say like, this dude's doing it. Like, I want to be with this guy because he's doing it and I'm going to do it and we're going to do it together. So I think I saw Ann had one last question for us. Ann.
Yeah, just seeing that video. I think I could do with 2 people threatening me with AK-47s if I post anything. I think that's really holding me back. Like, I don't want to post a video like that and people go, why would we follow her? She has no confidence. Look at her. She's, you know, and I think that's why I haven't done my why video or anything really. Yeah. I mean, I'm scared even talking now.
And that's what we love is that you're doing it right now. Here would be the advice and suggestion that I give you. Do it inside of a safe atmosphere first. That's going to build confidence. What that means, like you're already doing that with this video. And then the next step I would do is go into our fitness group where every single one of us is in there. We'll see that group and we're going to see it and we'll encourage you on that. And it's like doing those small things will help you build confidence to do it outside. And the thing is, we're all friends on Facebook too. Like when you do it publicly, you're going to, like what I have my coaches do, like you guys don't see it yet inside of my personally sponsored coach page because I have you guys a little bit separate right now because I don't want to overwhelm you. I want to keep you in this little box until we're expanded. But one thing that we do in there is like Christopher's video. Like I put in there, hey, one of my challengers did a why video. Could you guys please help encourage and spread the word on that video? And that's to help build confidence in my future coach, Christopher, right? So inside of our team page, it's a culture we have where let's say Suki writes his first why video or makes his first why video or his first why post. He shares his before after picture and wants to write a story with it. What we have him do is he posts it and then he shares the post into the team page and says, hey, could you guys read my post and give me some feedback or comment and help it get some engagement and help get that confidence, like help you build confidence. Like, so we do that as a team. And I already see you guys doing that inside the fitness. So, Ann, that would be my advice is do it in our, you should do your why video in our fitness group. I think it'd be a great opportunity as well for those that don't know about coaching yet to see that you don't have to be as far as you want in your journey. You don't have to be as confident as Scotty is or as Chris is getting on video to want to be a coach or have that desire to change people's lives. It's going to empower people. I guarantee you. So let's have you do that. We'll start like that, Kay? Awesome. Okay, should we do another little screenshot picture? Okay, let's do it. What do you guys want to do this time? Let's do something different than the thumbs up, though. You got to do, because it can't look like the same picture. A peace sign? Okay, peace sign. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I'll post some up. And social media advice, don't share. When I post the photo up, don't share it. Copy it yourself to your computer, and then you write a post. Because you don't want to share your audience to me to my post. You want to take it, write it yourself, and also how social media, Facebook engagement works. It'll get seen more if you post it or get, like on your page. If you share it, probably nobody's going to see it. That's how Facebook algorithms work. So I'm going to post it. You guys can comment. I'll tag you, but then you should copy it and post it sometime like tomorrow or later today as well. And there's a little social media advice. So, okay, we'll see you guys. Hope that helps somebody, and then we'll plan when our next one is inside the team page. Later, guys.